What is up, guys? Delboy here. So on Friday we have the bout between Jamie Mcdonnell and Naoya Inoue. This fight is for Jamie Mcdonnell's WBA bantamweight title. He's looking to defend that against Inoue, who is looking to become a freeweight world champion. He held titles at light flyweight, super flyweight, and now he's aiming to become a bantamweight world champion. And I think it's an interesting first fight for Inoue at bantamweight. I do make Inoue a big favourite. First and foremost, Jamie Mcdonnell, again being a road warrior, travelling to Japan to take this fight, and he is really going to be up against it. Inoue is a big star in Japan. He is going to be spurred on by the crowd, and it's just going to be a really tough ask for Jamie Mcdonnell. I know Mcdonnell has fought abroad in the past. He's fought in Monaco, he's fought in the States, he's fought in France. Mcdonnell has travelled, but I don't think he'll have experienced anything like what he's going to go into in Japan. But I do think the fight is quite interesting. Obviously, Inoue is moving up a weight class, and Jamie Mcdonnell is a really big bantamweight. Mcdonnell is actually 5'10" with a 72-inch reach, whereas Inoue is 5'5" with a 66.5-inch reach. So Mcdonnell is a lot bigger, he's taller, he's longer, he carries more weight, he's just a bigger man. And that's going to be interesting to see how Inoue deals with that, because at light flyweight and even super flyweight, Inoue was quite big. You know, he was a guy who was relying on his strength, he was pushing guys back, his power was a big factor. He's a really good technician, but he was also a really big guy for those weight classes, and he was very strong, and that no doubt helped him. He's not going to be the stronger man against Jamie Mcdonnell. He's not going to be the bigger man, and he's not the longer man. So that's going to be interesting to see how he deals with the size differential. Not only that, Mcdonnell is durable. You know, he's never been stopped. He's fought good competition throughout his career. He's been hurt a few times. He's been dropped a couple of times. But for the most part, Mcdonnell is a tough guy. And it'll be interesting to see if Inoue's power carries up from super flyweight. Stylistically, I think obviously this fight does favour Inoue despite him being the much smaller man. Inoue is a much more creative fighter. He's a harder puncher. He's a really good body puncher. He mixes it really well from body to head. He's got nice quick hands. He delivers all of his shots technically well. He's got a good punch repertoire, you know, a really nice jab. He's got good front footwork as far as I'm concerned. He cuts the ring off well. And he's just a really good pressure fighter. Defensively, he does get caught when coming in. I think sometimes he's guilty of not really moving his head too much. And when he is backed up occasionally, he leaves his chin in the air and he backs up in straight lines. But, you know, he's a good pressure fighter. He's really good at what he does. And he's an elite level pressure fighter as far as I'm concerned. But it's going to be interesting. I think Mcdonnell is going to play the back foot boxer. He's going to make the most of his reach and length. He's going to be trying to walk on Inoue to jabs and right hands down the pipe, and he's going to want a point score. He's going to want to take Inoue late on and then maybe try and impose his will in the second half of a fight. Maybe he needs to watch the Badu Jack Stevenson fight, in a sense where in the first 5 or 6 rounds he does need to be careful, because Inoue, at least in the weight classes below, proved he can really punch. So maybe Mcdonnell needs to be kind of careful early on, try and nick a couple of rounds, play it safe on the back foot, and in the second half of a fight, then try and be a bit more aggressive on the front foot, try and impose his size and will on Inoue, and maybe try and make it a dogfight down the stretch. Because although Mcdonnell is not a big puncher, maybe he can impose his will on Inoue because he's the bigger man in the second half of the fight. And not only that, Mcdonnell brings a good work rate, so if he can play it safe early on, and then really start to unload and get some work done, it'll be interesting to see how Inoue takes it. But ultimately, when you look at both guys, Inoue is just he's just a better fighter all round. He's a lot more offensively capable. You know, he's got that X factor about him, whereas Mcdonnell doesn't really have that. You know, Mcdonnell is a good boxer. He's got solid fundamentals, good jab, good right hand, good straight punches, keeps a nice tight guard, can move relatively well. But he's not really a dynamic fighter. He doesn't have that punching power or that blaring hand speed or those super quick feet. You know, he doesn't really have those attributes. And that's what I think is going to lose in this fight. If Mcdonnell was a big puncher, it's a winnable fight. Because like I said, Inoue does walk onto some shots sometimes. I think he is susceptible to straight shots. And they are shots that Mcdonnell delivers very well. But he just doesn't have the sting behind those shots to really make a dent, in my opinion. Even though Inoue is coming up from super flyweight, I'm not sure he has the power to hurt Inoue. I know Mcdonnell's got a good knockout here and there, but he doesn't really knock people out for the most part. So I feel Mcdonnell's going to be tough. He's going to take Inoue several rounds, but ultimately I think he's going to get chopped down, and I think he's either going to get stopped late, probably through accumulation to the body, or he might make it to the final bell, but he'll lose a lopsided decision. And even if it's a close fight, it's in Japan, so you would imagine it's going to go to the hometown fighter. I really feel Mcdonnell is up against it here. I think he can make it competitive in spots because he is a good fighter. He's a big guy for the weight. He's experienced. He's fought good competition. He can make it competitive, but I just don't really see a way he wins this fight. So I'm going to go with a Inoue late stoppage or maybe even a points win. But I think Mcdonnell he'll give it a good go and he won't disgrace himself. That's how I see it going. What do you guys think? Peace.